November 26, 2000. Florida's verdict. The certification of Florida's vote carried direct national weight because it set the outcome of one of the closest presidential elections in United States history. The election between George W. Bush and Al Gore produced no clear winner on election night. Florida's vote count stood at the center of the uncertainty because the state's electoral votes could determine who gained the presidency. The initial tallies showed Bush slightly ahead, but the margin fell under the threshold that triggered an automatic machine recount under Florida law. That recount narrowed the gap and pushed the contest into a prolonged fight over ballot standards, deadlines, and voter intent. The certification on November 26 marked the moment when the state formally declared Bush the winner by 537 votes, and that declaration shaped every legal and political step that followed. The significance of that certification came from its effect on the chain of legal challenges. The Gore campaign disputed the handling of ballots in several counties, citing issues with punch card ballots that produced incomplete marks. These ballots included those that recorded no clear choice, known as undervotes, and others that recorded more than one choice, known as overvotes. Local canvassing boards faced pressure because Florida counties used different standards for evaluating questionable ballots. That variation became central to later legal arguments. Before reaching that stage, the certification set a clear baseline. Bush held the advantage until a court ordered otherwise. This shaped the legal burden. Gore needed to overturn a completed and signed statewide result. The process leading to certification saw disputes over the deadline for counties to submit recount totals. Several counties attempted manual recounts, but delays made it impossible for some of those results to arrive before the state deadline. Secretary of State Katherine Harris announced that late results would not be included unless a court ruled otherwise. Her decision drew legal challenges that questioned her authority and the fairness of excluding incomplete recounts. Courts issued rulings that clarified parts of the process but did not stop Harris from moving ahead. When she certified the results on November 26, the document carried the force of state law and offered Bush the 25 electoral votes he needed to exceed the national threshold for victory. After certification, the election entered a new stage. The Gore campaign filed a contest under Florida law, seeking manual recounts in counties with high numbers of undervotes. A circuit court judge heard arguments about recount authority, ballot review standards, and the practical limits created by approaching deadlines. When that court denied the request, the case moved to the Florida Supreme Court. The state court later ordered a statewide manual recount of undervotes. That order, however, remained in place only briefly. The Bush campaign appealed to the Supreme Court of the United States, which issued a stay that halted the recount while the justices reviewed the case. The U.S. Supreme Court issued its decision in Bush v. Gore on December 12, 2000. The court held that the recount ordered by the Florida Supreme Court violated the Equal Protection Clause because counties used different methods to judge ballots. The court also held that no constitutionally valid recount procedure could be completed before the federal deadline for naming electors. As a result, the recount stopped permanently. The certification issued on November 26 therefore remained the final, controlling record of Florida's vote. That outcome gave Bush the presidency. The certification's historical significance sits in several areas. First, it demonstrated how a small number of votes in one state could determine national leadership. Second, it revealed weaknesses in ballot design, recount procedures, and county-level standards. Punch card ballots in particular became a point of scrutiny because incomplete perforations produced ambiguous results. Third, the event showed how state election laws, court orders, and federal deadlines can collide in close elections. Fourth, it highlighted the role of courts at every level in resolving electoral disputes. The final outcome did not result from a completed recount, but from a sequence of judicial rulings that upheld the certification by blocking further ballot review. The November 26th certification remains one of the most consequential administrative acts in modern U.S. elections. It marked the moment when a state official's decision set the direction of a presidential outcome. It triggered legal battles that shaped public debate over election integrity and reform. It demonstrated how the structure of electoral law can influence results when margins are slim. Its impact continues to inform discussions about recount procedures, ballot technology, and the responsibilities of state officials in close contests. The certification stands as a turning point that defined the end of the 2000 election and influenced national policy for years after. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.